I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour, take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all wanna ring, yeah, we all wanna be free. So show me what you got, what you bring, how you fight in the ring, how you take a fucking swing. Do you got heart, are you mean? Got some scars, got some needs, are you willing to go bleed? I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
What's going on, ESGNet Nation and Bills Mafia? How you doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Bills Mafia Sit-down TV here today. And today it is week 7 and we have a bye week. Yes, it's our guys to rest up. We got three players, which we'll see later on here with some injuries. So it's gonna be nice for our guys to rest up and get ready for this week coming up here, because we got a big week. We got big games coming up here. As you see, week 8 we got the Titans, and then we go on the road, which we haven't been on the road for a while now, taking on Carolina in week 9. And then we have a home game against the Raiders coming up as we jump back into the AFC West, which is can be difficult at times. We already played the Chiefs. We haven't played San Diego, which I'm not sure if we play the Chargers or not. But I know we play the Broncos. And speaking of the Broncos, there you see Wilson gets AFC Player of the Week honors. As he had 3 passing touchdowns, a sack, interception, and of course rushed for 53 yards with a rushing touchdown. Big game for him, and right now he is the lead vote getter right now for MVP this season. And of course, Jalen Johnson, he is a player of the defensive AFC Player of the Week, as he had 4 tackles and 2 interceptions in that game in the previous episode there against the Dolphins. As we see, Russell been racking up quite a few AFC honors in the last couple of weeks here. So I guess that's the reason why he's been considered the early on MVP vote getter. But yeah, this week we got a press conference here. Of course, like I said, it's a bye week, and of course they're asking us what we're going to be doing here on our bye week. We got a couple options here, talking about team bonding retreat, staying on the grind, or just self-scouting. And of course, I think last time I picked team bonding, which affects our awareness, but I think it also boosts our morale. So I think I'm gonna try to change it up here if I'm not mistaken. I might have been wrong here. I might have actually picked team bonding again here. Let's see what we're gonna do here. Got a few options here. But I think for the most part here, I want to say we keep it grinding here. We're gonna just keep it grinding. No, we're gonna do team bonding again. So we're gonna do team bonding. Honestly, you can't go wrong with any of those 3, but also too, there are some some stuff that can affect us unless we do well. But there you see team bonding. There's nice job there, 10 plus. But we got 2 relax, and we end up losing -5 on our awareness in all players in the next game. So -5 on awareness, and I'm fine with that. For the most part here. But at least our morale's up. But I believe those are just temporary boosts that we get, and of course temporary regression that we have. But Deshaun Robbins, our defensive tackle that we picked up, of course, remember him from the Highland Scotty series. We, of course, brought him over here to Madden 23. And there you see, he gets a nice little upgrade there, 73 for his speed rush. And, oh, wow, we got, he has got a couple more snaps here. We can find out what his dev trait is. And same thing for Fleming as well. 75 overall. We're going to work on, I believe, pass coverage because that's pretty low. And we're going to bump that up to a 72. And he's going to get some nice upgrades as well. So not too bad there. And of course, we're going to see he has 205 snaps so far here. So he's just not even close to half. I believe he's about, 400 for about another 45 more. And he'll be halfway there. Davis, our free safety, get a nice little upgrade there. 63 overall. He's 65 there in the hybrid upgrade. So that's going to be man coverage +3, zone coverage +2. So nice job there for him. And of course, we are the best team right now. Where I think us and the Bengals are the only 2 teams who have not been hit with an L just yet. And both are at 6-0. Packers 5-1. I don't think we have any ties here, which is a surprise for me, but of course I say that, and then somewhere down the line here, probably this week, we'll probably end up getting a tie. But right now the Bears are the worst team in the league, and which I'm very happy with because we do have a draft pick with them. And if that continues to be in the case, that draft pick is going to be a very nice pick for us going on into the spring with the NFL draft. So let's just keep that up there, Bears. Just keep losing games, and so that draft pick can be more valuable for us. But as we take a look here, just looking at the AFC right now, and of course we're leading the AFC along with the Bengals, and we take a look here at the rest of the AFC. Chiefs are down there surprisingly, 2-4. But then we take a look at the NFC. Packers lead this one with a 5-1 record. Falcons 4-2. Wow, they've really upgraded since then. And so is the Lions. Lions looking very good there. Like I said, those are Lions especially are a team that I think I said early on that somebody we have to watch out for because they got some good picks there in their draft, and they've drafted pretty well this year. Of course, that running back, Wendell Kayson, our guy there from the Highland Scotty series, was a great pickup for them. Seattle, surprisingly enough, are just 2-4. They have a great quarterback, Terry Wolf, but of course he is a rookie, so he is going through those growing pains as a rookie. And that's the trouble with being a rookie quarterback here. You're getting yourself acclimated to the life of an NFL QB, and sometimes it's tough. You're getting roughed up quite a bit, and the game's a lot more faster than it was in college. We'll see. I think we'll eventually see Seattle. I think somewhere down the pipeline here. I think this season. If not, we'll probably see them sometime next season with Wolf. And of course, Wolf will be have another year underneath. He'll have his first year underneath his belt, and he'll probably play pretty well. Broncos there, of course, 4-2. Like I said, along with the Chargers, Raiders at 2-3, and the Chiefs, surprisingly enough, in last place in the AFC West with a 2-4 record. So what is going on with Mahomes and company? As Mahomes and his homies not playing so well right now. Packers right now 5-1 in the NFC North, along with the Lions 4-2. Vikings they're sitting at 500 3-3, and of course the Bears, like I said, 1-5 so far this season. Falcons 4-2, Panthers 3-3, and then the Saints 2-4 last place, but 2-3 for the Bucks. Eagles 3-2, Giants 3-3, Commanders 2-4, and same thing with the Cowboys, who are currently 2-4 as well. So Big D not playing really well right now this season. Rams 3-3. Of course, we've seen them last year in the Super Bowl. 49ers and Seahawks, all of them are 2-4. So pretty much the Rams are kind of still in this division. But then again, they beat each other pretty well. So they could easily slip pretty quickly there with wins against the divisional rivals in that division here. As we see Josh Allen over almost 2,000 yards for the season, 20 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, having a nice year here. I believe he's third in yardage this season, and I believe first in touchdowns, but I think he's like third in interceptions. Cook, there you see over 350 yards for the season, and him and Moss just have been, by far, I have to say, they're just a great 1-2, just great just in the backfield there for us, and I'm really happy with both guys. There you see Hunter Cannon, of course, he played. He's playing our fullback plus our tight end, one of our tight ends as well, occasionally getting a chance to play there. And he's been really great here. I think we need to start running the ball a little bit more with him on the ground because he's just a great bruiser. I think we might have to do that, especially in the red zone when we're on the goal line there, and just really pound the rock with him. No 500-yard receivers yet, but Diggs is almost there with 447. Davis 400. Both have 5 touchdowns now for the season. And really, truly, I think we need to start throwing the Diggs a lot more here in this after this bye week. Calvin Parker and, of course, Hunter Cannon doing great job there in that tight end position. It's really tough to try to figure out which guy we're going to throw to more. Of course, O.J. Howard's still with us there. He's still playing very well. I don't think he has any touchdowns yet, but he's been very useful in some games here. Been helpful when it comes to needing a quick pass to somebody. He's been there, so nice job. Now, as for trade, we could dangle him out there for trade bait for a team out there, but I think for right now, I feel comfortable with him just being in that position until we can find a decent guy to play that fullback position, and that's something we'll probably end up looking at once we go into maybe as soon as the playoffs. See if we can find a guy in free agency or has been released for their team that we can pick up and have in that position, or maybe we'll have. I think in some ways I'm thinking about putting one of our both halfbacks out there. So whenever maybe Moss is not playing halfback, he'll play fullback, and then of course, if he's playing fullback, that means Cook's playing halfback, and then vice versa. So I really interchange those guys out, and so they'll have both on the field, and we can both utilize them in different ways when it comes to the running game. But there you see Fleming, the rookie. He's actually playing pretty well in Greenlaw as well. Of course, we picked up Greenlaw at the trade deadline this time last season, and right now he's currently hurt with a torn labrum, but he should be back here in about 2 weeks after this week is over with here, and of course we're hoping that he'll make a speedy recovery. Oliver as well. Of course, Oliver is a person I was really thinking about possibly trading and getting rid of, but with the way he's been playing as of late, and kind of a cornerstone of that interior line there, the defensive tackle position, I feel pretty confident. But at the same time, we could trade him, before his contract is up, and we could sign him and then trade him, do a sign and trade with him somewhere down the line here. But I think for the most part here, we may end up going ahead and re-sign him here very, very soon. And then, of course, some other players as well. Jalen Johnson, Taron Johnson, as well as Jackson, all doing very well for themselves. Of course, the rookie there, Deshaun Robinson, has been playing very well for us there defensively. I think he's in the top 10 for defensive player of the year, defensive rookie of the year. So we're going to really try to do our best to make a good campaign for him to get defensive rookie of the year for our ball club. But yeah, for the most part here, the defense has just been coming alive here. I mean, if you've seen the first couple of episodes of this second season, this defense is just, oh my, I love it. This is the defense I'm starting to create, starting to mold and stuff, and get fired up and get amped up about, because we got some really good players here. And next year I think we're gonna be focused on the offensive line more so this upcoming draft. But I think we have a couple more pieces that I think we can try to go after in the draft to secure defensively. We'll have a little bit more money than compared to the first season when it comes to free agency, so that we can make maybe a splash or two in that, and try to see if we can bring in a decent defensive player in that sort of way. I don't think we're going to worry about the linebackers. Linemen, probably. But again, I want to work on the secondary position, so I want to kind of focus in on more of the safety positions there for us next season. But yeah, I mean, for the most part here, defense by far, we're in the top 10 on most of the categories in defense. So I'm not afraid with our defense at all. I still question our secondary position, because secondary, the free safety and stuff like that, they have not been. They've been playing good. Don't get me wrong. They've been playing great. But I feel like they have not been really, truly tested when it comes to other great wide receivers out there. And, of course, the deep ball here in the NFL right now this season. So, for right now, we're doing great. But I feel like we still need to improve that area. And that's why I say we're going to start looking at more of the free safeties coming up. And especially in doing scouting here later on in the season. And of course, our national scout will be going out here very soon here. And of course, we got to make some choices here. We're going to have him go. I think right now, by looks of his scouting, and I think we might see this here in this video, but he may be more better at the offensive line, like interior offensive line, stuff like that. So that's something we may have him go do. He does have a trait for secondary positions like free safety, but I think if I'm not mistaken, I think it might be one of his weaknesses. So, and right now, if I remember correctly, I don't think there's not too many good free safeties and strong safeties out there in this upcoming draft. So. But right now, you're taking a look here at the rushing leaders here, and of course, we're in the top 10 there with the rushing this season, and I'm really proud of our guys. The offensive line, we gotta give them some praise as well. Of course, we haven't been busting out huge gains or having monster gains, which is fine. I like that. That's where I try to get both halfbacks, try to get them close to 100 yards for the day, and try to get them both same kind of reps in the game. But I think at some point here we may end up focusing on one particular halfback, and then the second halfback will, like I said, play that fullback position, and we'll get a few fewer snaps than he would normally get. But I want to get him involved in the passing game a lot more. So that's be the kind of the benefit of not playing being the feature back for this squad. And of course, Moss is a player that I would like to keep around for next season. And we're trying to build up his interest a little bit more game by game. But yeah, we definitely, I think that's what we may end up have to do. We may have to let him, if we want to keep him around, because I think we still have another year with Cook. So I think this is the last year for Moss for contract wise. So we may have to have Moss be the full feature back and just really let him run wild and let him do his thing in that backfield position as we go along here this season. But there you take a look here. Just look at some of the other players now, and we're looking at some receiving numbers as well, and not too bad here. We got a couple. We got both. I think Davis and Diggs are both in the top 10 there. But of course, we're going to try to do our best to get them 1,000 yards receiving, especially Diggs. Diggs and Josh are best friends, and I want to keep that. That's still part of the magic there that I have between the two of them. and get him involved in more of the passing game there. So we're going to try to see if we get to Diggs more often here. And of course, obviously, my personal favorite with the receivers is Davis. Davis has been just clutch and a lot of great catches, and we're hoping to see if he can continue that here. And once we, after this bye week here. Defensively, like I said already here, we got some good defensive numbers right now. We're in the top 10 in a lot of these categories here you see, but we could still improve in some areas there for our game and for our team. And like I said, defensively for the team wise, we're in the top 10 in a lot of the different defensive categories that they value in the NFL. So I'm not too worried about us giving up too many points, because we don't give up too many points per game. But I will say, like I said before, the free safety and the safety, secondary, the secondary positions there, secondary and the secondary defense there, I'm really concerned about. But yeah, our defense has just been really just badass and just keeping us in games, and it really, taking the pressure off of Josh and everything. Of course, somewhere down the line, there's going to be a team or teams that are going to figure us out and what we can do. And I think probably once we get to 10 games, if we win 10 games in a row, or just this first 10 games, I think after that, then we'll start playing more on one side of the ball when it comes to future episodes. So future episodes, you may just see more offensive plays, and then other episodes, you may just see us play defense wise. But I won't play both sides of the field. We'll just kind of focus on one side of the ball and just showcase that. So make the games a little bit more interesting and more intensive as we go along here in this series. So. Like I said, just kind of changed it up some and see how things go. Right now, slider-wise, the sliders, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I've improved the sliders quite a bit in the favor of the computer, and I don't know why. I mean, I don't want to jinx myself or anything. I'm enjoying what we're doing, on both sides of the ball, but I don't know this. I mean, it's just been a little too easy. So that's why I said we might end up playing just on one side of the ball and just let the computer take over on the other side and see where it goes. But as we take a look here, like I said, this team's been great. I had my worries going into this season, season 2, especially if you win a Super Bowl there. You kind of slide back some, and you let up on little things that made you great from the season before. And right now, we're looking pretty sharp for the most part here. We've been getting banged up here and there, and that's been an issue. The slider for injury is pretty similar to a lot of people here on YouTube. They use a slider, so it's somewhere around that 20 to 25 mark. There, and I really actually like it. I like it. It's making it more of a challenge. I'm seeing more injuries that are like 3 or 4 weeks, anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, which is fine. I like that. I don't want to have a league where I'm having half the teams don't have their top player, the top defensive player, or the top offensive player out there. I want to make it close as realistic as I can, even though I know this is a video game and can't get too realistic. But I'm trying to work on the sliders here, especially when it comes to penalties, trying to make it more realistic. I'm about to say realistical, and that's not a word. But yeah, we're trying to make it more realistic in how they play and how they react, stuff like that. And I know, like in next year's Madden 24, they're doing a lot of that. They're trying to make it more reasonable and more realistic for a lot of the fans out there when it comes to slider sets and injuries and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, I try to do that, but at the same time, there's only so much I can do, because it is a video game. I can't break the game and make it do what I wanted to do. So I can't mod it or anything like that. So, but as we take a look here, there you see some of the team stats that we're in, and like I said, we're just doing really well. I'm really proud of our guys. I can't really complain too much. for the most part here these first 6 weeks. These have been a magical 6 weeks. It's been great. And now, after this trade deadline, which like I said before, I think towards the end of that last video there against the Dolphins, we can, I don't think we're going to be buyers unless there's a player out there that I really want to get get my grubby little claws on and say, hey, you're coming on our team. We got enough for your, cover your contract for, because. When you're trading, you go for a player and you're getting him, a team for that's not doing so well, but as a player that, you want to see it get a ring, you're renting them for the season. So you just, pay whatever you got left on their contract, and then after that, you just let them go. And we've done that before last season, and we might try to do that again this season. But at the same time, I like everybody that we have. I can't complain. I like who we have right now. I like the development that's going for us. The development's going at a good pace for a lot of the players. We have not really unlocked, I don't think, any one of our rookies just yet. So that's really nice because ideally you would think that you would not get to know these you really wouldn't truly know these players, or not necessarily overalls. Not that what I'm thinking of. They're dev traits until their second year. And depending on if that was a position of need, then we would probably have them already unlocked. But right now, we got a lot of players that we're trying to get some playing time here too. Matter of fact, I got 2 of them right now sitting on the practice team that hasn't even had that many snaps. I think they have like maybe 10 to 20 snaps a piece from each other. So we got to try to get them, find a way to get them on the field as well. And of course, like I said, we might end up, if there's some linemen that we have this season that we can let go, then we're probably letting those guys go and let those other 2 come off the practice squad and have them on the team full time down the line here. So, I think right now we're looking really good. There's always any team, regardless who you are. When you're, regardless if you're a good team right now and you're playing really well here, there's always a room of improvement in certain parts of your game. But I think for us right now, we're looking good. There's some things I do like to change. The offensive line I would like to get better, make it more secure for us to be able to look down the field more often, and also to open up holes here so our halfbacks can just bolt right out of there. But for the most part here, we're having a good season. First 6 weeks, great. Can't complain. And so far, like I said, we're looking like we're on schedule right now. And I really like to see that happen for our squad. And I'm hoping that we just keep continuing to improve every single week and get better and better as you take a look here at some of the injuries that are going on around the league. And like I said, I think for the injury sliders, I think I like those for the most part here. I'm comfortable with those. Now, of course, we're looking at some offensive linemen here, and one of the offensive linemen we're looking at is Lionel Woodford. He is I can't really read that on my screen here. He's from LSU, but he's a great player there. You see B on 2 of his stats that we've looked. He's only been 30% scouted. He's a round 1, late round 1, early round 2 possible player. And there you see good to solid on a lot of things. So he looks pretty good for the most part here. I like what I'm seeing, or at least what I'm getting from the reports that we're getting from our scouts so far for him. And like I said, we'll see if he can drop down. I think we do have an early first round, or no, we might have. Okay, obviously, depending on how this season's gonna end, but I believe we do have maybe it's not a first round for the Bears. Maybe it's a second round. I think we had a first round from last year. I think this year's a second round or a third round. I can't remember, but hopefully he'll slide down to us and that sort of thing. Of course, everything's gonna be completely changed once we get to the off season. Michael Dent as well, another player that we're looking at. Like I said, I just want to show you guys a few players that we're currently looking at right now, draft-wise. He's a day 3 projection. 55% scouted right now. So again, we just know kind of half of what we know of him. We don't have a full on, numbers and stats and stuff like that from him. But yeah, we're looking at him as well. And again, looks like a good guy that we can bring. There you see a lot of his, he's C, and then he got a lot of B to D's, A to C, and a lot of those. So not too bad in his core attributes there. But like I said, just 55% scouted, and we'll see if we can get him fully scouted here in the next couple of weeks for us. And he's, like I said, he's offensive line. He's a left tackle there. And we'll move on now here. Terrence Knox from Syracuse. There you see some of his top fits there. Giants, Seahawks, Cardinals. And there you see some of his key ratings. He's not really in that. One thing I am concerned about is his run block there. It's an F. So hopefully that's definitely something we'll have to work on with him. But again, 55% scouted. So halfway scouted there. A little concerning about the run block, but we can get over that and get him trained if we need him on the practice squad and work with him on the training aspects of that. One thing I am excited about for next year's game is the block or the drills that they brought back. I remember when I was in college, my buddies and I would play those drills all the time because they had a mode in there where you just play the drills and try to get used to how they work and all that kind of stuff. And I'm glad they're bringing that back into Madden 24. That was something that I always said that during the off season. It's like training, your training camp time before you start the season. It's like, yeah, I need those training drills so I can work on a particular player or a particular. And I think now you can work just as position. So whoever that one player is, they work for the whole position, and I think the position gets upgrades. I'm not sure for that. That could be wrong. I probably am wrong, but regardless, it's just nice to see them bring back an old mode or part of an old mode into the games now. So Dylan Carter, right tackle, we're looking at him as well. Cowboys, Chiefs, and Falcons are also some top positions for top teams for him. Happy, you see his key ratings there. We got 2 of them unlocked. We don't have the other 2 yet. He has a high motor. He's good at good discipline there, so he won't get flagged. So that's what we like to see and like to hear. He's 30% scouted. He's a round 1 draft pick. So obviously, if we don't have him, and I would say this is probably a top 10 guy. Obviously, we're not in the top 10 if that's happens to be true. Then he's definitely going to be picked up pretty quick there. But on the other hand, there you never know. He might drop. He might have a few offensive linemen that are a few teams that may not need offensive linemen this year. So Lizzie Ash is a defensive tackle there. As we're looking at now, some more of the defensive side of the ball. And I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really concerned about some defensive tackles, but his attributes and what he looks like he can do kind of was kind of like, oh, okay, we can go for another defensive guy. Our defense is getting better. We can improve our defense a little bit more. I don't want to get too far away from, because this year I do want to work on the offense and offensive line. But the defensive line can always use an upgrade. But there you see some of his ratings. And, of course, there you see his core attributes as well. And there you see awareness. Gets pretty good, decent awareness. Not bad. It's B. Power moves is B. Tackling is a C, which is fair. Not bad. At least he knows the action he's trying to perform. Aubrey Solomon from Michigan. This is not a player from our High and Scotty series, but there you see his notes that we got about him, and there you see some of the teams there. Excuse me, as he's a fit there a lot of with the, it looks like a lot of AFC teams. 3 of the AFC teams there right now are doing pretty decent. But he's a first to second round, late first, early second round guy, and there you see his core attributes as well. So 55% scouted, and definitely a player that I wouldn't mind really trying to go after. Now the halfback position here, this is something that I've been kind of new here as of late. Because this young man right here, he made us, he made a name for himself there in the Highland Scotty series. Vince Malapila, he is a Samoan halfback who was just brutalizing the run and had a pretty good couple seasons there with UCLA and not UCLA, USC, excuse me. And we are definitely putting him on our list, on our favorites, on our board there as well. Because just in case we cannot get Zach Moss back next season, this definitely will be a person that we'll be try to go after. If we can, if he happens to follow, if he happens to fall some. Now he is considered a top 5 guy. So if we really want him, we could try to make some trades here with some of the teams in the top 5. But of course, that's going to be just a leap of faith here on trying to get something like that fixed up and prepared here going into that draft. So, but there you see the latest mock draft. This is mock draft number 2. Montgomery for the Highland Scotty series there. He's right in. And there you see some other Highland Scotties. Some of the other players too as well. If you notice, there's more players from other teams that were in the Highland Scotty series as well there. But as like I said, for the most part here, you'll see a lot more There's a little bit more Highland Scotty players this year. Not a lot, but just got some of the key players that were big role players in that series. But there you see, you're just going down the line here. And of course, this is what it's projected because based off of our records right now. And there you see, we got McKinley, the strong safety there, which I wouldn't mind having him either. I mean, he's got some. I looked at his attributes as well, and he's got some pretty good attributes for the out of college right now. But as we take a look here, we're taking on the Titans, which will be in Week 8. And there you see the Titans here. Last game they played was there. They had their bye week in Week 6. And, of course, last week they lost there to the Colts in a close game. A lot of the games they've played in here this season have been very close. And, of course, there you see Derrick Henry and his attributes here this season. 99 overall. Of course, by far one of the best halfback right now in the league. He just keeps on putting on just some great games, and just have a nice running game to his name. And this year, of course, the Titans not playing up to par here. Of course, Ryan Tannehill is the quarterback right now. He is because of start depth, but there's been some rumors that we've been hearing here within the confines of the NFL, and we could see Malik possibly making the start against us coming up in Week 8 action. So Ryan Tannehill could be sitting down. He does have 11 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 1,300 yards for the season. Excuse me, but he's been sacked quite a few times here, and I think the change of the guard for the Titans QB may be coming forward here, maybe coming to the forelight here, and Malik may have to take over the reins. Robert Woods, of course, their top wide receiver, 86 overall here, got great speed, great catch. He's definitely going to be a difficult player to try to manage in this game, and of course, he will definitely be looked upon there. Right now, 452 yards, 4 touchdowns. Of course, he's known to have 1,000 yards season. Of course, double-digit touchdowns just like last season. But this year, he's been kind of quiet. But game like here, this one could be potential for them to do something here. Austin Hooper, star dev. Of course, we've seen him in our Cleveland Browns series, and he did very well there for us. And now he's here with the Titans, and he's 81 overall right now. And of course, he is definitely a huge threat in that tight end position, but especially in the red zone. Right now, only has one receiving touchdown with 140 yards now for the season. And of course, this, like I said, this could be a game that he can, just go off. Jeffrey Simmons, great right end who can definitely cause some havoc there against your defensive line and cause some problems for your quarterback and his timing. And again, that's another player that defensively here, offensively we have to worry about. That make sure this defensive player does not have a big game against our QB and causing problems. As right now he has 4 sacks for the season, 1 interception, 4 tackles for loss, and 13 tackles right now. 11 of those are solo tackles. Caleb Farley, of course, this is a dangerous player. Throwing his direction there, he can make you really have some trouble in that deep passing game. He is a star dev, second-year guy from Virginia Tech. Great speed. Looks like pretty good man coverage. Zone coverage not so great, but he's known as more of a man-to-man type of player. And he is, like I said, he's going to he'll definitely be matched up towards Diggs in this game here. So it might be a little tough throwing the Diggs his direction, but like I said, we'll try to change things up and switch up them as much as possible. I might even, in this situation, if we're trying to throw the Diggs a lot more here and try to give some more reps, we may end up putting Diggs in that slot position there instead of playing on the outside, have him close inside to Josh. And Byron, there you see his numbers, and of course his stats so far this season, as he has no interceptions, no sacks, no tackles or loss, but he has 25 tackles this season, as he's been doing pretty well there, getting to the football and making plays. So as we take a look here at our offensive, our defensive playbook here, or defensive strategy game plan here, it says that we need to, contain the quarterback, and that's what I think we might end up doing. Henry, yes, we should be focusing on him, and I will be focusing on him. I will try to run try to stop him from running the inside game. But I think if Malik's playing, and hopefully we'll find out soon. I think we won't find out until really game day. But I think we'll probably. Tannehill also too. In some ways, I've seen him too. He could scramble pretty well as well. Now they're suggesting us to do a deep throw, but I think I'm going to go a different direction here, and I think I'm going to just focus on more so of the medium passing game. I don't want to get too deep because, like I said, Farley's out there. He's a corner. He's going to be looking for the ball, especially if he knows, with Diggs. He knows Diggs is our number one guy, and that's the I feel like that's going to probably be the best matchup between the two of them. I don't want to get Caleb to be picking up me off all damn day and wondering what the hell's going on. So I think we're going to stick with the medium passing game, and of course, obviously, the running game is going to be important for us as well. As that's been pretty much our, here, especially in the last episode, we did very well in that, and we'll continue doing so. But at the same time, too, Derrick Henry, always a threat, and right now with only that 1 rushing touchdown and 502 yards, this will be a game they need to really break out in. I almost feel like, in a lot of ways, and I hate using this term, but I feel like this is almost a trap game for us, as our opponents right now having a cold start, but they could bust out, especially with Henry there, bust out some big runs here and really try to do some damage to us, and I'm hoping that we can avoid that. But take a look here. That's pretty much it for this episode and my thoughts about the season so far here. So we'll get to week 8 coming up in the next episode. We'll be at home as we're taking on the 1-5 Tennessee Titans in week 8. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you happen to be new. Hit that bell notification as well, so you guys be notified of when new videos are dropping. Not to mention, if you guys got some comments or some ideas and strategies for this game against the Titans, let me know down below in the comment section as well. And of course, if you got any ideas for some trades or some different changes. I mean, for the most part, we're playing very well. I mean, I don't know what to really change, but like I said, I've been trying to mess with the sliders a little bit more, trying to make it a hell of a lot more tougher. And I've done it. I've used in Mac 10 sliders. Mac 10 is known on Operation Sports. I've been using the sliders, and right now I'm just playing too well. So I don't know. Maybe it'll kick in once we get to further on down the line here. But that's it for today's episode. If you guys did enjoy today's episode, please again leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit that bell notification, and thank you for continuing watching the series. And look out for more here very, very soon. As always, keep yourselves and each other healthy, and I will see you guys next time.
I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.